Education, Laurie Gilmartin.
And begin. What was your week like, Laurie?
Oh, well, I had a fun week. I had my shows of flappers,
Oh yeah, that's right.
because I hadn't headlined since mid-August, so it was like 6 weeks of,
Ooh,
10
just
to
doing.
20-minute sets. And so I did that thing where I win over my act, which I hate.
Oh
And
yeah.
but I always worry, oh, I don't have it anymore. I always worry when it's been too long between headlining sets. And then, first show, I got it. I
You
got it.
got it. You got it. You
Still
got it.
got it.
Friday, 8 o'clock. You're in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Doing it.
it was
Did
fine.
Jay Leno do guesties?
Leno was out of town, I guess.
Okay.
So Suba Agarwal, I think you're saying her last name right, featured, very funny. And our own Raymond Lau does
Shout out to Raymond Lau.
the stuff. MC,
Clip it out.
very funny. And Nick Alexander did a couple guest sets, so it was a good show.
That's a nice show.
Mhm.
And yeah, I did. So you did 4 shows at Flaps, and
I'm having one night a week where I get no sleep at all, and then it ruins the next 3 days.
oh yeah,
So, but
that
it's never
would.
the same night, and so this one
Oh,
was Thursday night, and then so I've just after this podcast, I'm gonna collapse and
yeah,
hopefully
fall over.
gain some sleep.
Are you just staying up late watching TV or something, or you're just
No,
having a hard time getting to sleep? And
hard time just ruminating, thinking. I don't know, just maybe because I don't have it. Well, that's not true. I do have things I have to do. But maybe it's because I have to wake up so early every morning to get my kid to school now. Like
oh right,
before it
oh
was,
right, you're just sort of getting in that, like getting in the groove of that. It might take a second.
yeah.
How
I
long's
mean,
it been?
my it's been since August.
Okay.
Last time I headlined before this.
Okay.
But yeah. So well, it's neither of us. It's neither of us. Our thing is to wake up at 6:30.
Right.
And
Right.
you know what? Kids shouldn't be going to school at 8 a.m. They should go to school at 10 or 9 a.m., whatever works with their body clocks. No kid is naturally up at 7 in the morning. It's just not good. I don't know why we keep doing this. It's to align with work schedules, but it's not good for kids at all. It really isn't.
Well, there's all of my nieces and nephews were up at like 7, like right frickin' there. But teenagers aren't. All the teenagers in the world
No.
are asleep. And
There's a few that are up early, but it's maybe because they're just they're good students, and so they know they need to be up early. But allowed their body cycles allowed to act as if they're supposed to, they would sleep till 9 or 10.
well, and I read an article, very powerful, had to be true, about how the U.S. School system was set up in the 30s or whatever, or 20s and 30s when they were, broadband public school systems to create factory workers.
Really?
And so yeah. So the time was set up so that they would get up early, and then the bells that would go from class to class to class, and they were to train us to be good factory workers.
Wow.
And then we gave away all of our factory jobs, and it's really for the best. It's not a great job. It's not fun.
Training students to be good Uber drivers, and to me, they should be able to set their own schedule. That's the life that they're looking at.
Right. If that's the workforce, that's how it should be happening. If you're going to own an ice cream truck and drive around and be your own boss, you should.
It should be the same way. I don't know why
they're doing it, but there it is.
Like some of the curriculum is. I do wonder if you have kids that like math. That's fine, but there's other kids like my son. Like this is all he needs is to know how to is to balance a checkbook. And by the way, so does half of the country.
Yeah.
Like. Can we just go, all right, this one's not going to do calculus. This one's not headed for that. Can we just put them off into like financial literacy and what a mortgage is and what the stock market is and all that kind of stuff. So at least when they're out, they're not, getting all this shit on YouTube or something, and who knows the kind of misinformation they're getting.
Well, I once taught Head Start. Had to
Mhm.
be, it was either 6 or 16, I forget, weeks, where I learned more things than these children. But it was an after school program for like 9th to 12th graders. And it was sort of half childcare and half teach them stuff like how to balance their checkbooks
Yeah.
and how to fill out a job application.
Yes. Yeah. How to write the kind
And
of sentences they want on a job application,
well, literally just filling out the forms, and then there was some talk of cover letters.
Yeah.
So, but those are good skills for any kid to have. And if you didn't have my siblings, you probably didn't get that in school. Did you learn that?
I don't think so. I
Where
don't
did you
remember
learn to
that.
balance a checkbook and
Oh, I'm
write cover
learning
letters?
tomorrow. I'm taking it.
You're gonna find the right YouTube channel and
I joined Masterclass, Jackie. I'm sure someone there will. So you have harangued me for months because I have 2 cars, right? And
right.
I have a 2006 Hyundai and
Yep.
a 2009 Corolla. That was my mom's. And
Mhm.
I just didn't want to deal with the Corolla because it's a lot of death certificates at the DMV and all that shit. And I just put it off for a long time. And then the Honda had, it had an incident. It just there's stuff spewing out of it, and my mechanic, it took him 2 weeks to figure it out, and it's gonna like a total rehaul of the engine, and that usually doesn't happen with Hondas because usually a transmission goes, so the transmission's next because it's got almost 200,000 miles on it. So I'm donating it to KCRW or Cars for Kids or one of those
Right,
places.
right.
And I'm
So it died, is what you're saying, is that
keep my
it needs.
Yes, it needs too much work for what we have left on it, and the Corolla. So now my mom's car is mine, and so I've been driving it around, and like the little garbage baggie is
Mhm.
still her garbage, and there's like a little Jolly Rancher wrapper
Aw.
must have been from like late 2018.
Yeah, when she was still driving.
Yeah. Mhm.
And wow.
Those old ladies, like they love those.
They love a hard candy, man. They love a hard candy. I can't wait to get super old and get into hard candy.
Why is it, I wonder? Because they're usually their teeth are not their own at that point, and their gums are more sensitive. Why would they want a hard candy? It seems counterintuitive.
You can suck out a hard candy for a long time. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. Maybe it's candy that lasts a long time.
Yeah, Depression era.
Those,
right?
those she ever like those butterscotch? Those butterscotches?
Yeah, she liked them, but she liked more the Jolly Ranchers with the
The
purple
fruit.
and red.
Yeah, yeah.
Butterscotch.
The fruit
like
flavored. Yeah. So are you gonna have to do all the paperwork for this thing at some point,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
are you just gonna drive it around until somebody
Well,
cares?
I can drive it because it's listed under my mom's estate, and then that's
That's you. Yeah.
right. So I can technically drive it. It's not listed under her name anymore. So
Okay.
but yeah, I still have to bring documentation to the DMV, and I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to the DMV.
Can you go to AAA?
No.
Okay. And
That's all. It's not a solvable problem, Jackie, except for me doing something I don't want to do. That's it.
right. There's I'm a huge fan of you putting it off for another year and a half and giving it to your son and you getting a new car that you could have for 20 years. I literally, if you just roll up some pennies, give them cash, take this. I don't want a car payment.
Just share a car. I mean, what's he doing? He's not going out every night. He's not gonna have a job,
Right? He could get a job, but he could get a job over in that mall that's walkable from your house.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He could work at Starbucks. He could work at
yeah.
that's a cool kid job when you're 16.
Okay. Well, I'll let him know. Auntie
Let
Jack
him know.
in the coal mines, and he should be getting up at 8 a.m. to practice for that, I guess.
Yes, tell him that that's what his education has been preparing him for, as a job at the Starbucks. Does he like coffee?
No, he doesn't drink it. No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
because
No
the
smartphone, no coffee.
no coffee, so he's not that kid. All right,
Nope, he's not.
that's nothing wrong with that. I tried to watch your Squid Games.
Come on, why it's my Squid Games, and why didn't you enjoy it? I saw your tweet, your threatening tweet. Nasty.
It's I get it. I get it. Ever since whatever Battle Royale, I get it. I don't need to see all the versions of the Hunger Games forever.
Oh.
It's essentially I read 100 Bullets. I know I'm
It's 100
responsible for my
bullets.
own orgasm. I don't need to watch this.
Hey, where is this going?
That's a line from Tootsie. It's Jessica Lange says that she read some book and she knows she's responsible for her own orgasm.
What a disturbing reference in a movie where most of the participants are shot in the back fleeing for their lives.
Some of them, and then some of them are just they've accidentally moved. So I watched the first episode, and at the end of the first episode, there's the guy. You know who? See, the thing is I know that we're not going to get enough of the guy who I want to follow. It's sort of like Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Game of Thrones, I wanted the entire show to be about that wall that had the ghosts on the other side. The
Okay.
whole seasons, that's all I wanted right there. And it wasn't. And so this one, I just wanted to be about the guy that caught his shirt
Oh, right. Yeah,
and then never moved. That guy.
He features quite heavily in the
whole season
that I've seen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I still don't care, but but here's the good news: the What If series of the Marvel animated What If series that's on Disney, they aren't one-offs. There's a through line.
Okay, I guess
there's an arc.
News. That's great news for me.
That's great news for those of you that are watching What Ifs, going, why isn't this going anywhere? And me justifying it by going, they're what ifs. They're going to be one-offs. So they're going to be what they're going to be. I just realized I'm not actually hooked up to the internet completely. So I don't know if I'm frozen or Kyle has.
Oh, you're speaking and we can hear you and see
Kyle's
you.
being very still. I think he's
meditating.
Yes. That's how
I did several shows this week. I have another one tonight. Working on the new stuff just because I can.
Right.
And still need to write set lists. Have chosen not to.
No, I can't. I identify with you on many levels, but nothing more when you're supposed to do something to make your own life better and you don't do it.
And here's the hard drive.
Yes.
That has all of Staycation on it.
Cool.
Very glamorous. And weirdly enough, it's a different size USB port. So I was like, because I have to get this to 800-pound gorilla. I've also been talking to the powers that be about selling the video.
You told me, so it's the same people you told me in person about that.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I got the first draft of their offer.
Right.
And they said it was, they were like, yeah, it's not going to be great. So then I passed it on to my lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I have a lawyer, you guys. And so very glamorous. I've never had a lawyer before. Turns out if you have $500, someone will talk to you. So
you have a whole team at that point.
I could have a whole team that wanted to earn $500 each. But so I said the sort of the bullet points of what the contract would be.
Yeah.
And then we talked it through as to what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I want is the right to make like 100 DVDs for promotional purposes. And those promotional purposes are my dad and his friends and several other old people who would like a DVD. And so the lawyer's like, well, what about selling DVDs at the shows? Which tells you how old my lawyer is.
Are people buying DVDs though? I mean, there might
No.
be some. No, they're not. Nobody is.
Nobody is.
Okay.
Nobody's. I have Horcrux DVDs
Mhm.
that will be the next set of coasters that anybody might want. So
So I should throw away my CDs that I was forced to buy from rooftop way back when, right? I mean, I think.
no. When we do live shows,
Okay.
you should sign them. This is what I'm doing with the misprint of my Bread album.
Okay.
I'm giving people a pack of 4 of them
hmm
as coasters.
You're giving them garbage.
Please throw this out for me. Yeah. Please recycle this for me. But actually, not really, because some people are like, no, I'll totally use them as coasters.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to recycle them.
Yeah, if you find out, I'll hear it, because I still have about 100 of the misprinted Bread ones.
Yeah, I've been holding on to these for 13
Decade?
years.
Yeah.
For over a decade, and every year I hate all the jokes on it more. So I don't even know why. I don't know why I'm holding on to it. I don't know, because
Yeah.
I pay for it. It's
That's why.
it's the thing the concept I've seen on Twitter like 20 times in the past 3 days, maybe because of Squid Game, but it's sunken fallacy syndrome, or sunk something, where like you put so much money in that even though you're losing,
okay.
you pull out.
Yeah.
What's it
It's a
called?
Money Pit? I saw that movie, Tom Hanks.
Sunk fallacy cost, I guess, is what it is, or sunk cost fallacy. Anyway,
okay.
yeah, it's what keeps people sitting at a chair in front of a quarters machine, getting emphysema. Yeah.
Finally. Yeah, I have this bit. I have several bits that are new that none of them have endings.
Right.
And I have set tonight, and then tomorrow night, which will be the Monday that this comes out. We're doing a live Jackie and Laurie
Mm-hmm.
at Flappers on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be you and me,
Mm-hmm.
Maggie May, Sheila Ratner, Carmen Morales, and Alice Hamilton.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do a couple of Rush Ticks. We're gonna do some Rush Ticks live shows.
Oh yeah, you told me that. I just
Yeah.
take orders. Yes.
Okay, then I'll just schedule it, and then you guys just show up. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So it's a live podcast we're doing on Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It'll be a Rush Ticks live podcast, and then they'll give Kyle the audio,
Woo.
and it will also be released as a podcast on the Monday.
Will people be commenting like in a chat as we're
They
talking?
can be. They can, because it'll be Rush Ticks.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds cool.
And yeah, and if we do it regularly, they'll be excited about that. And I was like, well, I might be excited about that.
We're already doing our podcast mostly over Zoom, so it doesn't seem to be too different. So that's
I think
extra revenue for you and me. You know what? We're about multiple revenue streams.
I'm glad you've joined multiple revenue streams. I saw that you were wondering about
revenue streams right now, so I'm
right,
looking forward to
exactly. Just sound exchange.
Mhm.
That's not going to cut it. Yeah, and a headline week at Flappers, as fun as it is, doesn't pay the bills. So
no, I sell in books after the show. You know, I got a lot of books for sale. I'm like, because Dead People Suck was published on the day of the Parkland mass shooting. So my publisher was like, we're not going to promote this thing because
why didn't he hold it? Oh, because it was already set. Yeah,
it had already come out, and then hours later was the Parkland shooting. So it came out on February 14th, and then on that same day, it was already a done deal. So
yeah.
So basically, and nobody would tweet about it. High profile people wouldn't tweet about it because for 2 solid weeks it was just like mass shooting, death, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been left to my own devices to market my book. So whatever. So I'm just like a traveling book saleswoman. Going to
right. And you're thinking about doing the small theater thing. You like the sort of the.
I was just looking at other comics' road gigs, right? Like we all do.
Like we all should be doing if we're not doing it. If we're not doing it, you're not thinking. Like, I got an email from this guy asking me how to do the road.
Oh my God.
and that is a
Wait, who
direct
is that?
quote. And the thing is I like him. I don't
Right.
know if he can, or I mean, he's gonna try. And I'm like, the only way to learn to do the road is to do the road. That is the only way. And if
I
you
mean,
have some sort of other income, you can feature, or if you're willing to live in your car.
yeah,
And one of those two things.
I don't even know what to. Somebody asked me about interning at late night shows. They came to
Hmm.
Flappers, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let me send me your info, and I'll look into it." But then I was like, it kind of puts me in a weird position because I don't want to be contacting writers who I kind of would like to be considered for a job for
Yeah.
and going asking about something else.
It's
And
different if you had a job. And
it
then
is
you
that's
then
true,
then all you would be doing is pinging them going, "Hey,
right?
somebody asked me about this internship. I'm just trying to help."
Exactly. But
At
if
this point, it
I feel
might
like
sound like you're looking for the
I
internship.
know, and I'm using that as an excuse to make contact. That's
So
what's
you can't. Yeah.
shit. But the other thing is I don't know because of COVID if they're even bringing in unpaid interns anymore because
Yeah.
liability
They're
or all
not
that kind
doing
of
warm up.
shit.
They're
Well, they're
not.
not even. Well, that's a paid position, but I'm saying like interns at late night shows, they don't get paid; they get college credit, and uh, which that whole ecosystem could be definitely examined.
Yeah.
you know, uh, because
I
only
like that it's
college
an
students,
ecosystem.
well, only college students that don't have to pay for their own college can really, afford to spend 8 hours a day interning and working
Yeah.
for free. And if you're paying
Yeah.
for your college and you're working your way through college, you can't also go to a late night show and just sit around, or make photocopies for, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So whatever. So it does lead to a cherry picking of a certain economic class of people that start getting, oh, hey, we know you, why don't you just do this job because this guy just quit, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So okay, honest, that's a separate thing, but also I don't know that I mean, paid employees probably aren't coming into work right now, still zooming and stuff. So I'm not even sure.
If they
I don't
if
even
they
know.
need
I
interns.
feel
Yeah.
guilty. I said I would try, and it's an easy, like you said, it was an easy thing to do if I'm, obviously I could talk to somebody, Conan, if
Hmm.
we were working or my parallels at other shows, but now, it just feels uncomfortable
Yeah.
because I would,
Right.
oh, P.S. I'd be happy to do packet.
Right. Are you
Just
guys looking at packets? You guys looking at packets?
yeah, and then I'm that person, so
Right.
I don't know.
But the thing is to be that person, I think you could be that person, and that's not bad. But separate from the intern question. Like you
Yeah,
could just
I mean,
ping. I
well,
think here's what I want you to do. Don't you want to know? Can't you wait
I can't wait.
to find out what I want you to do?
Hmm.
Here, I'm typing it.
Okay.
I want you to ping that person,
Oh, sure. Okay.
and because that would be a fun job for you, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
it's
that's up my
monologue-y, but
alley.
also sketchy,
Yeah.
and it's super dark. And
Yeah.
here, newsflash, Laurie Kilmartin, super dark. Your new vaccination joke, fucking murders. Not
Oh,
anyone.
thanks.
Yeah, vaccinations don't murder. They save lives, you guys. Aha! Bam.
Haitian turns on vaccine.
Oh my gosh, what did there was all sorts of drama among the lefties that have gone so far left. They've come around right. You
I
you
know.
texted me about that guy. Those two banana
Yeah,
heads.
there's like, and maybe I'm an asshole online too, and people tolerate me in person, but there's a couple people I know who are like, well, I see them online, I'm like, what? And then in person, they're just normal, including this person,
Mm.
where I'm like,
Ah,
oh shit,
yeah.
that's weird. But I do think we are our worst selves sometimes on the internet. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe all
via
the time.
and via texting.
Yes, that
I have
person too. And then
yes. The
I'm
two of
like,
us just typing names like crazy. What
I'm
we
like,
are as monkeys, we're trying to write Shakespeare, you
I
guys.
know it's it's just but then they could be doing that about us. Those fucking they want vaccine mandates, those two assholes. Hey, how you guys doing? I don't know. I don't know.
Right. I saw well, and I freaking love this guy, and I'll say his name because he was talking to me. I did that Tim, the steaks and chops thing that's outside, kind of a cool
that's where
kid
I met
show.
my dear friend, the heiress.
Oh, the heiress with the nails.
Yeah, with the claw nails. Yes.
With the claw nails. Okay. Yeah, I was there working with James Adomian, and James Adomian is essentially the other Armenian comic who
Right.
everyone knows, right?
Oh my God,
And
you guys on the same show. All
we're
of
all-
Glendale turned out. Come on, I got so many of these, Jackie. Let me do them, please.
Oh my God! When I did Rontowski show, and then I went over to do the Tim show, working with Mary Basmantian was headlining in the main room.
Oh, so someone was it Karen that said she has a TikTok character. She has a character she does on TikTok that
Okay.
posts comedy clips. Like
Mary
what?
Basmantian was a previous comic of the week. She's
Yeah.
super funny.
Very funny.
And that's awesome that she has a TikTok character that's blowing the fuck up because she's great.
Okay.
And I was so psyched because she was headlining the main room. And I was like, so I just popped into the green room to say congrats and hooray for her. And
was it full?
so it was, I just popped into the green room. I didn't look, but,
I see.
but the main room sounded full.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to
Yeah.
Tim. Yeah.
Is she from Armenia or her parents are from Armenia?
I think
how
she
far
was
back?
I think she was a child.
Oh, so she's from Armenia. Oh, okay.
I think,
All right.
yeah, I think so. But
Okay.
full, like, and it's so funny. And when I say funny, I don't mean funny, haha.
Mhm.
Because the Armenian-Azerbaijan war, I didn't pipe up because
Oh,
I
right.
live here. And there's already a civil war happening around me. I don't need to get involved in another war.
You don't need more
But
people angry at you.
well, and this might get because I freaking love James Adomian. He's hilarious.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Yep.
He's a sweetheart of a human being.
Yep.
And he's super mad at Azerbaijan.
Right.
And he went to Armenia during the war, and he was talking about how he wanted he'd always wanted to go, but he wanted to go with his brother, and he wanted to stay more than a week, but he went alone by himself for a week just because he wanted to see it. And I it looks beautiful, the pictures. It's all mountainous, and there's super old Armenian churches that would be neat to see. And but he was like, I don't know if they could do comedy yet because I think they're still reeling from the war, but I would want to book and he wants to do like an Armenian kind of block for Austin
Oh my God.
for South by Southwest.
Oh,
And I think he's really in with that guy. And I was like, I would do any show that James Adomian would support. Just
Right,
because
right.
James Adomian is seriously heart in the right place. I love that guy. But he's also, his politics are extreme in different areas than my own, right?
Sure. That's fair to
So,
say.
right. Like I am extremely angry about other things. And as much as I like Bernie Sanders, I don't like Bernie Sanders as much as James Adomian does.
Right.
And I don't know anyone who does, but because he does an amazing impression.
It's
amazing-
part of his DNA at this point, Bernie Sanders.
It really is. Though he did a couple of bits, and one of the bits, everything was very funny. He said, "Do you think that bit would do better if I did it as Lewis Black?" And then he did it as Lewis Black.
Oh my
And
God.
then he said a different joke. He's like, "Would this joke work better if I did it as Andy Kindler?" And then he did it as Andy Kindler. And it's so freaking funny. So he's awesome. But yeah, that show was super fun. Maddie, I'm spacing his last name. The guy, which Fontana
Halloran.
maybe?
Halloran.
No, I think it's Maddie Fontana. It's something like that. He's Boston guy. He's the guy who
Yes.
books the Tim gig.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I think
You're gonna make sure that I'm wrong. Fair enough. Do it.
Wait.
And
Oh no, Fontana. You're right.
yeah,
What am I thinking of?
I don't know, but I want to work Halloran. I need work. I need setup. I need stage time. Tonight I'm doing a gig that Carmen
He's
set up.
funny, Maddie Fontana.
Oh God, he was really funny.
Yeah.
And that Boston accent comes out stronger
Oh
on
my
stage
God.
than
It's
off,
hilarious. It's
but
hilarious.
it's real.
Yeah.
And so this week I'm doing 2 gigs at different improvs, like opposite sides of LA. I think it's Brea and Oxnard
Okay.
with Bamford on Wednesday and Thursday. Monday we're doing our thing. Tuesday night I'm at the Vino place over in Atwater.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ano Vino.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I'm
Yeah,
doing
the
that. That
downstairs.
should be
I
super
like that
fun.
place. Yeah.
And then
There's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street from that where I've left my son many times while I went down to stairs to tell jokes. No wonder.
it's one of my favorite coffees in the world of chain coffees.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts nails it.
Yeah, it's good.
And I don't even fucking like donuts that much,
Yeah.
but it's hard to look at a rows and rows of donuts and not go, well, I could eat a donut. And then all of a sudden you've ordered a donut like a jackass.
Sure.
I don't want to be a donut person. And then my wedding anniversary is on Friday. I did not book it. I could have booked it. I
Oh,
could have
that
been at the
hurts.
Sacramento Punchline.
It still hurts me that you didn't.
I know it. I know it. And then I'm doing the I'm doing Uncab next Saturday at the El Cid. I did the El Cid for Vance. We were both there.
Yeah.
And I forgot that it was down the stairs and then down the stairs and then down another set of stairs in the boot. The boot
Oh, wearing
remains.
that boot, I can't believe it. How long you in that boot?
Well, this is 3 weeks now. And I
Oof.
didn't wear it last night when I went to Paper Heroes and my foot hurt. So I'm wearing the boot today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a break.
Okay.
And let's do Comic of the Week, who
yeah.
I worked with last night at Paper Heroes.
I thought we'd done her already for sure.
I thought so too, because she's out, she's working. She's been working as long as us, I think.
Yeah. Mhm.
Stephanie Blum. I think it's Bloom, actually. And that's why I think it's because I thought there was an E on the end, but there isn't. Is it just at Stephanie Blum?
You have
It is.
consistently for the last hour insisted there's an E at the end of her name. And I
Right.
have to tell you it's not
The
there.
pre-show
Yes.
we should record the pre-show for the
No.
Patreon.
That's how we lose our Patreon.
It's just 3 people mumbling to themselves.
But she was great. She had a lot of really good kid stuff and mom stuff.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
find her and work her.
Yes, I worked with her many times in New York. I think she was more of a Long Island comic when I was out there. So I'd see her.
She had a
more
real New York vibe, man. She had
Yeah.
a really, really jamming the New York thing.
Well, you know who's going to have a New York vibe this weekend?
That one? You going to New York?
I'm flying out Thursday night, doing my
Okay.
guy, and then I have on Friday nights. My
Mhm.
first show is in Brooklyn at Union Hall. I'm doing Whiplash. They moved it to Brooklyn.
Oh
And,
wow.
the last one, Al Franken was on it. So I don't know who's on this one, but I know
Is Aparna still working with them?
No, I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my first show, and then I'm gonna go into Manhattan I gave my avails from 10 p.m. on, and I got booked till 1 a.m.
Holy smokes, Friday night.
Yeah, and then Saturday I'm all day at the stand, or all night at the stand, like 5 or 6 spots at the stand, and then I wrap
Wow.
up at I think the Broadway or Greenwich Village last set, like at 12:55 p.m.
That's
or
awesome.
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have that thing. I signed an NDA. I can't talk about it, so I won't talk about it. But I am doing that on Sunday.
Are you? Yeah, type that to remind me. Oh, right.
I can tell you about it at a later date.
I would love to. Yeah, that's so weird that you're the thing. Here's where we're at. I mean, I keep saying yes to things
Right.
because it's multiple revenue streams and exposure and at this level we should not be doing that, right? And
I
so
don't know. Is it? I mean,
in theory. in
Yeah,
theory.
but there's no theories anymore. It's all blown out the window. Like I feel like younger comics were never given this expectation of a road to success, right? Of you do a late night set, you do this, then you get Montreal, then you get a deal, then you get your sitcom. Like that was presented to us.
It really was
unfortunately,
with a
as
bow on it. They were
yeah,
like,
this is what you
this
should
is
do.
this is the way that it's going to happen. What is your sitcom? People were constantly asking what your sitcom was, and you're just
Right,
like,
right, right.
can I give you a paper cut? Shut the fuck up. I don't.
Sure. Yes, definitely many paper cuts. But so to me that ruined my mindset of I have this thing of it should be like this and it's not like this, and I don't know the motivation to go it's not like that, it was never like that, like that, like even like Doug Stanhope brain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never
Like,
had
what's
that.
it?
I was always like, oh, here are those the steps? Okay, I'll do the steps. And a comedy actually, people do better when they go fuck the steps. They don't.
Yes.
Sorry, I know I'm
Yes.
stepping on some of your shit now. Fuck the suggestions that you think I should take, and they just do their own thing, and like and Stanhope's like the perfect example from our generation who did that early on, and I
Well,
feel like I
we were
believe
given an
what I was
idea.
told.
You believed, yes, because we were given a
Yes,
vision of what success kind of looked like.
right.
And I guess what the the generations under us, their expectation is that they have to blow up on TikTok. They have to blow up on
Well, that's
YouTube
way
Shorts. They're just like,
yeah.
if I can sell enough of this, I can fill theaters, and then maybe I can make my own show like Mindy Kaling. Maybe that's
Right. I
maybe
mean,
that's what they're being sold.
go around instead of like trying to impress these set of people, they just keep going around those people completely, and those people are following them.
Right.
So what I'm saying is it's like when I was looking at like those some road dates for some comics, and I was like, well, these are one nighters at these places I've never heard of. Are you cold calling venues and just like, hey, I'm in San Antonio, which is 6 hours away, on Thursday night. How about Wednesday night? I do a set at your place, and then are you doing all of that work by yourself, which is fucking enormous amount of work.
Right, but that was me in '92. Where I would call the, it was back when the VHS tapes and you had to call, and then they'd say, I'm not really booking right now. Call me back in a month.
But you're
Send me a
calling
tape.
into an existing system. You're calling into a comedy club that already has a mailing. They know how to fill their seats, right? You don't have to do that stuff, really. If you're a headliner, you do a door deal, yeah, you do. But working in a club system, they're doing like 80% of that stuff, and you kind of show up. I'm saying it looks like a lot of comics are like doing the whole fucking thing, and and just planting themselves in near Tennessee for a month, and then just building out from there, which is incredible, but it's so much fucking work, I think, unless
I think, well, that wasn't that what you were doing, Kyle?
Oh yeah, no, I'm loving listening to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So part of it is like new media changed everything. Like once everything became the streamy stuff, they pulled the money out of everything. There's no union laws. There's nobody watching anything. So tech people just got to take advantage of stuff, and you can't kind of go back after that. At the same time, it became a huge tool for people to be able to use that media clout to then try to get representation to even enter the arena that was happening in the 90s. So it becomes this catch-22 of either like work for free constantly to get to the level where you can actively be played, or you kind of build these ecosystems where it's all these independent shows where people can develop their content, but it's all other comics building structures without any help, or not help, but like any existence of like industry or even like comedy club situation. So it just became this thing of like you kind of had to figure out how to work because all the doors got closed.
Right. It kind of reminds me of that Birmingham gig that we did, Laurie.
Right, exactly.
Where that guy was like, well, you could do, you drive up to Cherokee, you drive up to this, you go to, there's a basement in Atlanta that you can do.
But that
that
is an existing run. It's like triple runs, right? They're
Yeah.
you know, he
They're more
sets
like
up and
they are more like
up.
that.
But there's no central booker is the key. You're the
Right.
central booker instead of Tribble giving you 5 shows. Like you've got to build the shows, but everybody kind of knows that you're coming through, so it becomes this word of mouth thing.
Oh,
It's a word of mouth thing created, and you're just like, well, I'm doing Fort Collins. The Fort Collins, Dave Rodriguez is like, well, do you want to do Boulder on Sunday? I know that guy.
Yeah.
And so that can lead to the next thing, and it builds on that.
And your fellow people you perform with. Like sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 people in a car because each one knows a couple of contacts in a couple of cities, and you combine your resources and spread out.
And put a tour together like that.
Yeah.
But those tours are super labor intensive. There isn't a central booker like Summit or Tribble or Yoder or Hanson But hey, here's good news though. I heard Pat Wilson, and this is 20 years ago. So Pat Wilson, she might get mad at me anyway. She got mad at me 20 years ago when I told her I couldn't do her gigs outside of Seattle because there were no hotels. I just learned that she's offering hotels now, even for features. Pat Wilson out of Seattle.
The pandemic has changed everything fundamentally.
Exactly. Well, I think she's four-walling it in Best Westerns. I mean, the weirdest thing would be like if the show was in a hotel, and then she didn't offer hotel anyway. That was the weirdest experience. We're like, well, wait, but that's in a hotel. Are they full? And they're like, no, they're not full. So
Someone's
she
gonna
didn't.
do that. You just gave somebody a great idea.
But I want to do like I've been just literally just hacking on this guy, and I've booked a couple of one-off. They're comedy club. They're privately owned comedy clubs, right? So there's a club up in Humboldt County.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's a new airline that flies to Eureka.
Oh yeah,
for like $60.
Yeah, something jet, right? Easy
A
jet.
Velo or something. It's
Oh, really?
AVI. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of Burbank.
Oh.
To Eureka, California, $59 each way.
That's nice.
And he's got a 2-nighter, and Eddie.
I want to do that.
I'm talking about Eddie Pepitone. I put his name in the. I put his name in the thing. But Eddie Pepitone's
many times during back in the day. Eureka, Arcata, Coos Bay, Oregon, all that area.
Yeah. And Augie told me that Augie Smith this last weekend was in Coeur d'Alene. So I look up guys like Eddie Pepitone and Augie Smith and Daryl.
Kyle Kinane, although he's doing theaters.
Oh, Kinane's doing theaters. But just level. Like the thing about Pepitone is that you would think Pepitone would be more at Kyle Kinane's level, except for that Pepitone's willing to grind it out, right?
Yeah.
So Eddie Pepitone this weekend is in Poughkeepsie. There is a comedy club in Poughkeepsie, New York. And so I was like, hey, Poughkeepsie, New York, what's your deal? Will you look at my stuff? And this feels very 1992 to me, because I have the Gersh working on sort of the big names, and then I'm opening for Maria and opening for Brian Regan at the chains, and I'm trying to get into the big names, but I'm also willing, if I can make close to what I would get when Gersh gets me after commission, like if I can book that myself, that's the same amount of money, and these are new markets, so.
Yeah, and you bring your merch and maybe,
Yeah, it's so, but the weird thing is I'm also, since I hurt my foot and I fell down the stairs, I'm like, I don't want to grind it out quite so much, but there's part of me that can't stop, Laurie.
I know.
I can't seem to stop looking for more work. Even though there's part of me that just wants to say, hey, assholes, just double my pay. Work me the sweetest gigs in the world.
Yeah.
Work half as much and make twice as much, right? That's what I would like to do, because I'm falling downstairs because I'm in my head so much. I don't want to be in my head.
Well, yeah. I mean, did you fall down the curb because you were worried about stand-up?
I'd love. So I told somebody the story about me falling off the curb. I think it was Dana Eagle last night. She goes, "Yeah, you're gonna need a better story than that, Jackie."
Wait a minute, didn't Larry Miller, isn't that how he got his head injury? It was like a really benign, what you think would, something like what happened with you. I mean,
Sometimes
it's
you just
dangerous.
wipe out.
If
Sometimes,
you're falling on concrete, you're in danger.
yeah. And I've been falling since I was a child, and so it's not like this is some new, hey, now I fall down thing.
Yeah.
It's but when I fall down, it hurts more because I'm not quite as, I don't bounce as good, right?
Right.
And so but I was coming out of the Alameda, right? Coming down the stairs and falling down those stairs the week before I fell off the curb. Um that was entirely me rushing, and it wasn't well lit, and
Yeah.
and the shoes I was wearing don't have a heel or anything, so I just slipped and fell down the flight.
Mhm.
But I was in my head because I'd gone over a little bit, and there was another show, and I was literally in my head thinking, man, they got to turn this room around. They got to turn this room around. I got to sell merch. I got to sell merch. I got to turn this room around. So that's dumb.
Yeah.
And then the curb is just me normally just walking around, wiping out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, you know,
Mhm.
we'll see. I mean, this next year will be interesting. I've given myself a certain amount of time to fuck off,
Yeah.
let new ideas come into my head,
Mhm.
and see what happens. And then, then I'll start selling my belongings if I have to. But
You will not have to.
hopefully I can either get another writing job or sell something, like I have a
Oh,
couple
right. Like a
of
script or
half-assed ideas that,
Mhm.
could be maybe, I don't know.
Cash cow. Yeah.
I just want to let, like, get the work, not live with constant worry, just like breathe for a second, and it has been kind of cool just being, able to go to my kids' water polo games and stuff like that, and just like, chill out for the first time as a mom,
Yeah.
but his
Yeah.
season's ending, so I guess my season of going back should be
What's
ending
his next
too.
sport you can get him into?
He wants to do track and field, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
He wants to tear his other ACL
Come
for
on.
my next album. Yeah. So
Hey, let's take another break if we could.
Perfect.
Okay.
And yeah, I have road work coming up. I'm going to Chicago
Yep.
next. Well, after this week, I'm just opening for Maria and a couple of locals, and then I'm opening for Maria in Chicago. And then the craziness that is my family is November and December.
Mm-hmm.
And I've booked gigs around it. I'm doing Northern Arkansas the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Did you already do that room?
I opened for Brian Regan. That was my first weekend.
Oh yeah.
That was Lowell, Arkansas, for that guy Woody.
Right. Are you worried about their COVID rates there?
I'm not. I'm hoping to get the booster before I go.
Right.
And a friend of mine, her whole family just got it. You know this guy? He's a comic. I'm good friends with his wife, and not that he's not a perfectly nice man. He's got COVID. Yeah.
Oh shit.
But they're all vaccinated. But it doesn't feel good. That's what I was told by her this morning.
Right.
They're like, and she's just beating herself up going, why did I allow us to leave the house? And well, because you can't live like a shut-in, and you're vaccinated. You gotta do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to say when we haven't had a breakthrough case, but
Yeah.
I have the LA Times and a bunch of other places reported it too, that Moderna causes less allows less hospitalizations in their breakthrough cases than Pfizer. So,
Oh,
did you
there's
get
more
Pfizer?
hospitalizations with Pfizer.
Yeah, did you get Pfizer?
I did get Pfizer.
Definitely see if you can get your booster. Like really pursue
I
that.
think I can get my booster now if I tell them that I'm fat. But I don't want to. I don't
Right.
want anyone to know, you guys. Is there a way I could lie about something else and tell them that I've got a limp and I need the booster? Andy, I think, is eligible for the. I think you had to wait 6 months anyway.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not eligible until November anyway to get the
Okay.
booster
Yeah.
month-wise.
I think
And
Moderna is going to have like a half strength booster.
oh yeah,
That's
because
what I read that they're
it's
gonna
pretty
offer.
good. You know, Moderna was in the breakthrough on that was an Armenian guy. I was told that by a fellow Armenian.
You know, you guys are proud of everything you do. That's what I love
Well,
about Armenians.
it's the guy who played Mannix was Armenian. And that's all we had when I was a child. That's all we had when I was a child. Cher, and we had Cher. She was half breed. That was what she was singing about, being half
Her
Armenian.
mom's last name was Sarkeesian, right? Or
I don't
something
know.
like
I
that.
can't remember. It was definitely Armenian. I
Yes.
can't remember.
Georgia something. Named after a different Soviet republic, Cher's mom.
Exactly. And I am reading, by the way, and I know that we're close to. We're pretty close, aren't we, Kyle?
We are 10 minutes.
Oh, I thought.
50.
Anyway, in other news,
I got stuff to talk about.
oh, do you? Yeah. What do you got?
It's not comedy. It's like I joined a really cheap gym that I would normally just like
Poo poo.
it's not Planet Fitness, but something along those lines where you're like, this is just ridiculous. But the YMCA, you know, there's full on people with masks that are pulled all the way down and no one's saying anything, and it's 4 stories high at the one in Burbank. It's really annoying. So whatever. And it's like $60 a month. So this other one's like $18 a month. And
nice.
So, of course they're trying to make up their money. So they're like, we offer personal training. And so I got my free one, and then I signed up for a month because I liked my trainer. She's our age, you know, and I don't like looking incompetent in front of men, but I don't mind it in front of women, right?
Okay.
So she's, you know, and I've lifted weights and stuff like that, but I mean, I just wanted to reset, you know, and so I've been doing that. I bought a month's worth. And also, small world, Jackie. Her husband's a comedian. Like I know
Who? Type it. Type it.
Have to be.
Is it?
I don't. It's not somebody I've worked with. So.
Okay. Just. Oh, it's one of those. You know, it's so interesting when everyone's like, "Well, I know a comic," and then they say somebody's name, and you're like, "I got nothing." You would think, but I heard once that there are 10,000 people in Los Angeles who claim to be stand-up comics.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that
there's no one there, and I think her husband actually just does. I just haven't worked with him before. But
yeah,
they're him in on this. But no, I think
right.
But sure, I mean, who's going to stop you from calling yourself a comic besides your own sense of pride, which you obviously don't have?
Oh my God. 3 different industry people to this last week. I was talking about Staycation, the video.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't the company who's looking to buy it. It was 3 other people, including my lawyer, said, well, it's not like you're Bill Burr. Oh, it's not like that guy's Bill Burr. It's not like 3 different people said something like, it's not the comparison to Bill Burr.
So in what way? Like you're not famous like him, or you're not feeling
right? I think that
like
they've, as far as I can tell, the canonization of Bill Burr might be complete. And so I actually tweeted at him and I said, be careful, man. The last guy they canonized, they crucified him. So,
geez, Jackie, ominous shit for a guy who just logs on to Twitter. I mean, it's not his fault.
It isn't his fault, but I was like, buyer beware, man. I don't want to be that famous.
I think they're just talking about how he fills rooms and stuff, you know, like he could write his own ticket. If they're looking to buy a special, right?
Right. He could write his own ticket. He could write his own. Yeah. They're talking about how.
The life.
Well, except for that, if you think about it, the pressure of being Bill Burr, I think, is so great.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's what I feel bad for. You know,
I
it's
would
like that.
fold. Yes.
Yeah, the weight of it would crush me.
Yeah.
But luckily he could probably just go, well, fuck you, or whatever. I mean, maybe he has a better sense of self.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
keep trying to
maybe
rise to the occasion, right?
you rise with it. You rise with yourself. And I think also he's an older guy, like his success came later.
Yeah.
And someone like Pete Davidson had massive success so quickly. I think it's been really hard to manage.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to his childhood trauma that everyone's in on, like the rest of us, like if we have childhood trauma, at least it's a secret till we decide to make a one-person show about it. But like that was like we all know what happened to his dad, and it's just like everyone's in on his.
I don't.
I think that his
Who's
dad
Pete
died
Davidson?
What do you mean? Who? What the fuck? Are we in the same business?
We
Are
aren't.
you out
we
of your mind?
I'm out of my mind. I don't know
on
who the fuck that is.
SNL.
Oh, that's why I don't watch SNL.
But you don't
I've
have
never.
to watch SNL to know who Pete Davidson is.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
He was
You
in the
would think.
Suicide Squad.
Oh, which one? Who did he play?
He got killed early. I don't know his character.
Okay, he was
The one with the
polka dot.
bleach blonde hair that got killed.
Yes,
really.
he's-
First one whose head explodes.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was
That's-
catharsis for a lot of people.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
And what if I had a sense of if I got any of my sense
Don't
of self
defend this.
from
Jackie.
knowing famous people, I would
Shut it
feel
down.
super bad.
Shut it down. Don't defend this one.
All
A terrible error, and you just have to wallow in it. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna sit in it. I'm
His-
so sorry. I'd like to apologize to his family and to his bank account, to everything.
All right, 19, he gets SNL, and he's a frequent contributor on Weekend Update. And his dad was a firefighter who died on September 11th in one of the towers. So that's his.
Is his
story.
dad Steve Ranazizi? I'm so sorry. What? Why do I know who Steve Ranazizi is? I just walked her, you guys. If you were a member of the Patreon, you could see this video. And
Get
you
that
could see
time
in the
code.
mirror as she just paces back and forth, hoping. Yeah. Pete Davidson, huh? He's an American comedian, you guys.
I don't know
All
how
right.
to keep talking to you.
I know it's really hard some days.
Mhm.
This is why doesn't his Wikipedia page have a picture of him? That's a weird thing, right? That's not my
Did you
fault,
look
is
up
it?
his Wikipedia on your own time and not during the podcast?
Yeah, we got 3 minutes left.
Oh, it's a clock.
Oh my
It's
God.
I'm reading an amazing story of all the diaries around Winston Churchill. This is a book you
Oh.
might enjoy.
Nah.
It's called The Splendid and the Vial.
Mhm.
And this is how I got this book. My sister Darla bought it for my dad. My
Okay.
dad read it, enjoyed it, gave it to my sister-in-law, Sue Onison, the angel of death. She's a doctor. And then Sue Onison gave it to me for my birthday.
So she
and so-
regifted you for your
So
birthday.
regifted. So
Okay.
so regifted. And so I'm halfway through it. It doesn't look good for the home team, you guys. The Luftwaffe is bombing London. They just bombed Coventry. It's not looking good for the home team. But
Wait,
there's a
What's the home team for you? I can't tell
Britain.
anymore.
Britain's the
Oh,
home
okay.
team. Yeah, I'm always going to be anti-Nazis. I like my Nazis buffoonish and dead. Those are the two kinds of Nazis I like.
Would you be anti-Nazi but pro-Axis?
No,
Okay.
I'm still not going to be pro. Japan also was not my. I'm not. But they just introduced the Lend-Lease program, so it's brightening up. It's brightening
Okay.
up. And yeah.
I'm
But
reading a book. Oh, go ahead. I thought you
Oh,
were
I was just going to say the cool thing about this book, it's not Churchill's diaries.
done.
It's regular people around Churchill.
Yeah. Mm.
So, and it's incredibly lightly written, so it's an easy nonfiction
Oh,
book to
well,
read.
maybe
So
I'll-
it's great.
Maybe I'll
Yeah.
follow you for it.
Yeah.
I finished this book called The Dutch House by Anne Patchett, which is great. Loved it.
Yeah.
I started
Anne
this book-
Patchett.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah.
Oh, you know who she is?
I do. Do you know that do you know who Laurie Moore is?
I do. Short story writer. Yes.
She was my fiction teacher in college.
What the fuck? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I had a
know-
semester with Laurie Moore and did not appreciate it. I was unworthy. The only thing I remember her telling us was the first, and she liked one of my short stories, but the only advice that she told me, she told the whole class, the first class was no suicide stories. I have to sleep at night. None of you people can write about suicide. That was it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants a story where the line drips off. I wrote a suicide note.